Now that we're done with all the electrical equipment, now we just need to finish up. We're going to use the alkus scrapers. The way you want to go ahead and handle these is you just want to handle them like this. You need them sharp. I'll go through on another video and show you the belt sander. You really need a belt sander. You need to sharpen these more than likely, depending on how much you use them, once or twice a day. So, but you're going ahead and you hold them just like this. Just hold them. Here's a spot where I had a nail hole, another nail hole. And as you can see, what we're going to do is you just scrape it back and forth. You don't have to use a lot of pressure. And what you're getting is you're just, as you can see, you're getting this little fine shavings off of here to go on ahead and clean it up. And you can see where that nail hole was there. Here's a scratch right here that we did earlier that we ground off. You want to work these long ways and back and forth. And as you can see, you're getting these slivers out of here, but you work them long ways. And like I said, back and forth. And the scratch is gone. Here's our other scratch. The second scratch that we had. Work them north and south and east and west. And as you can see, it blends in. So you end up with these slivers, and that's your final finish. As you can see, this whole panel here, we've done a lot of work on it. As far as your plugs go, you do the same thing with your plug because they're slightly raised. On your plugs, they're hammered in, they're locked in. It's the fastest way of being able to repair a panel. It'll literally only take about a minute to a minute and 20 seconds to do it. As you can see, the difference on the plug, excuse me, is it's hammered in. So you'll end up with a little bit of a line in here. Once they go in and pour concrete against it the first time, that line grout will fill in there, and then it won't be seen. Here's another plug. Like I said, you just scrape them, rotate your scraper, and that's for fixing all your holes. We've got two patches here. You can go through on this panel and you can see where I've had plugs, because you'll see that little hairline right there, and you'll see our patches where it's welded in place, such as right here. Here's one of our patches. You scrape it off just like you did. And as you can see, this is, you got a good bond in on that one. And as you can see again, we're just pulling off slivers off of here. So there's patch number one. We pretty well got it. As you can see, it's, once it goes on a wall, you'll have a hard time seeing it. In here we got patch number two. I can tell right now that number one, we did not get didn't weld up a majority of the area, but that's what's nice about it, is I can come back with the extruder and fill in those little bitty imperfections in here and get it back to looking just like this one here. So, but we've got it scraped off, and realistically, this is much better than what you would have with wood. So, but that's all there is to it as far as the scratches go. As far as your nail holes, like I said, you can pound those out, or you can go ahead and scrape them. You'll also get little bitty, you'll also get little scratches in here that'll be a ridge. You can just take and go over that too. As an example, we'll show you with a knife. We might get a scratch in here. It's hard to see off the camera, but just a little bitty. As you can see, just a little bitty scrape, and I get that scratch right on out of there. And or you can just use your scraper and virtually make it disappear. As far as the repairs go, it depends upon what the quality is that you want. You can get little bitty scratches in here and you could just leave them. It will show up on a wall. If you get holes like this, granted, we want to repair them. That's the one thing that's nice about the alkus is you can repair it. So if you've got a panel section that's bad, we can cut out in between the cross members. We have a video on that. I'm not going to go into depth on that because we already have a good video on that. You can cut it out in the center of the cross member and replace this whole panel section. That way you're not replacing the whole piece. But there's a video on that currently.